She looked directly at the judge, confident, almost smiling, like she was about to walk out of that courtroom and grab dinner with friends. 17-year-old Mackenzie 𝙀𝙐𝙐𝙏 had convinced herself she'd beaten the system. Her lawyers painted her as a heartbroken teenager who'd made a tragic mistake. Memory loss from brain trauma, they claimed. She couldn't remember anything from that night. The defense was working. The courtroom was listening. But then, the prosecutor pressed play, and everything changed. What you're about to see is the moment Mackenzie 𝙀𝙀𝙏 realized her lies couldn't compete with cold, hard evidence. The moment she understood she wasn't going home. Not tonight. Not for the next 15 years. 2 young men were dead, and the proof was all right there, on video. This is the chilling case of the teenager who turned her Toyota Camry into a 3,500-pound missile, and every single detail I'm about to show you has been verified through court records, police reports, and trial testimony. If you've never heard this story before, prepare yourself, because what happened on a quiet street in Ohio on July 31st, 2022 will challenge everything you think you know about teenage relationships, premeditated murder, and how modern technology can expose even the most carefully planned crimes. There was something else investigators discovered that would prove crucial to understanding Mackenzie's state of mind immediately after the crash. Something she said when she thought no one was paying attention to her exact words. According to medical records that were read aloud during the trial, while Mackenzie was being treated at the hospital, she made statements to medical staff that directly contradicted her later claims of innocence. Dr. Esther Tseng, a Metro Health trauma surgeon who worked on Mackenzie's medical care, was called to testify about what Mackenzie told hospital staff in those crucial hours after the crash. When the prosecution asked Dr. Tseng to read from the medical report, the courtroom heard Mackenzie's own words from just hours after the crash.
Patient stated she, open quote, wanted to die, close quote, and that it was her fault for killing her boyfriend.
Patient then became tearful, processing heavy loss and depression since her accident. Patient shared feelings of grief, guilt, and shame. Patient stated she wanted to die and that it was her fault for killing her boyfriend. Let that sink in for a moment. This wasn't something said weeks or months later when she had time to think about legal strategy. This was Mackenzie hours after the crash, admitting to hospital staff that it was her fault for killing her boyfriend. When the defense attorney tried to downplay this statement during cross-examination, asking for clarification, Dr. Tseng confirmed.
You just said and read that Mackenzie said it was her fault, correct?
I did read those words.
That's what it says. It didn't say that she purposely killed someone, just did it.
Those words do not appear in that note.
And whatever those words were, you weren't there to hear them.
That is correct.
This hospital statement would become one of the most damaging pieces of evidence against Mackenzie's later claims that she couldn't remember what happened and that it was all an accident. But prosecutors didn't just rely on technical evidence and witness testimony. They also presented a different side of Mackenzie that most people had never seen. Her own words from social media that painted a disturbing picture of her mindset.
Shortly after the crash, Strongsville police were notified that they had received concerning emails from the community that the defendant and her mother were seeking employment with the Los Angeles modeling agency. Mackenzie 𝙀𝙀𝙏𝙀𝙀 said to 𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙏𝙀, "Thank you for the comment. I would love to work with you guys. I've been emailing you guys a lot. Such a great opportunity. Thank you."
During the trial, prosecutors played TikTok videos that Mackenzie had posted, showing content that was far from the innocent teenage posts her family wanted the court to see. In one TikTok video played for the court, Mackenzie had posted content with the caption, "I'm the one you died for." In another disturbing post that prosecutors presented as evidence, she had written, "I'm not even cool, I'm just one of those girls who can do a lot of drugs and not die." These weren't posts from years earlier when she was a different person. According to court records, these TikTok posts were from around the time period when her relationship with Dominic was deteriorating and the threats were escalating.
Dom, if you do not open, you think I'm joking. You think I'm joking. Like, I'm dead ass.
What do you mean?
You know it. That's exactly what I mean. You don't even know exactly what I mean. You're gonna come open this door right now, or there's gonna be a serious problem.
The prosecution argued that these posts showed Mackenzie's true personality, someone who was comfortable with themes of death, violence, and control over others' lives.
We think the defendant has shown a shocking lack of remorse, Your Honor. We think that she has has continually put forward that this was an accident in spite of the fact that the evidence is in direct contradiction. Your Honor, you were on Progress Drive. You saw the evidence that was displayed in court.
For the families watching in the courtroom, seeing these posts played on the big screen was devastating. This was the girl they had welcomed into their home, the girl they thought cared about Dominic, posting content about being the one you die for.
Gotta figure like a pin, I'm gotta figure like a doll. Don't care if you think I'm dumb, I don't care at all. Candy best, sweetie, if I wanna be adored, I'm the girl you die for.
I'm not even cool, I'm just one of those girls that can do a lot of and not die.
The TikTok evidence helped prosecutors argue that Mackenzie's innocent teenage facade was carefully constructed, and that her real thoughts about death and control had been documented in her own words long before the crash.
No one's breathing. Bust that window out.
All right. You good, huh? You didn't see any weapons or anything in the car? No. What kind of car is this? Holy smokes.
So, unfortunately, there was an accident, okay, involving Mackenzie, Davion, and who we believe is Dominic, is the third person.
An accident?
A car accident. Okay.
Where?
Last night.
Wait.
Just relax. Just hold on. Just stay seated. Just stay seated. Just hold on. Just listen.
Yes.
Listen.
Take a deep breath.
Christine, look at me. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, just take a deep breath.
Okay. Right now, all we know is that the driver, who is Mackenzie, is at Metro.
Right.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah,
just stay seated, please.
Take your time.
Please, just relax. Take a deep breath.
That's
Take
right.
a deep breath.
That's okay. You're good.
Hi, Mackenzie. Step out for me. I'm Detective 𝙀𝘐𝑾. I'm the one who's been investigating the crash. You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2. Okay? Nobody's gonna ask you any questions. Nobody's gonna bother you. Can I have your key, please?
Could you please be careful taking this one off so it doesn't break the bracelet, please?
You got it. Do you want my glass? No.
Thank you.
You got it. Okay, just keep your hands right here. I'm not gonna tighten these, okay? I don't want to hurt you. You good? Are they good? We're gonna watch your head going in.
off the collar, coming off. Calling partner. Partner, make sure that the juvenile fact sheet that gets filled out in the jail is the county one, not the SPD one.
Get a unit to Drake and Pearl to block traffic, because I have a lot of cars coming down this way. Yeah. 7174. Go ahead. Get to Drake and Pearl. Yeah, copy that around. You want me to shut straight down? 35? Just pull in front of the road closed like this.
I'll get my foot out. Sorry. It's just like.
Stand right by that black mat. Straight forward. Yep. Until that door. Step on that yellow line and just face the wall.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
What is Mackenzie?
Okay, Mackenzie, I'm gonna take your handcuffs off. I need like all the jewelry and everything to come off, okay?
I can't wear any of it.
No, I need you to take it off while you're in jail right now.
I can't wear these.
Now, unfortunately, everything's gonna have to come off right now once we know when the detective comes back and we know for sure what's going on. Everything's gonna be bagged up here. It's not going anywhere.
Sorry, this is just like one of those which is really hard to get off.
That's fine. Take your time.
What are the green, are those extensions, clips? You're gonna need to take those out.
I can't take them out. They're like in my, like, they're like thin.
Okay.
Unless you have pliers, we can get them out.
Necklace, yeah.
What about that tie?
I'm gonna hold off and see what ends up. Because it's kind of weird. I don't know. Corvatus is back there, thought. Alright, Mackenzie, just hang out up against that wall to your right.
When given the opportunity to speak before sentencing, Mackenzie delivered what many observers would describe as her final performance, a carefully crafted statement that continued to avoid taking full responsibility for her actions. According to court observers and body language experts who analyzed the footage, Mackenzie specifically asked the judge if she could stand to deliver her statement, wanting what experts called her moment in court. Here are Mackenzie's exact words to the court on August 21st, 2023.
The families love Dom and Davia. I'm so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken. I love Dom and Davia. We were all friends and Dom was my soulmate. I wish I could take all your pain away. And I'm so sorry. And to my family, thank you for the support and all the love you guys give. Thank you for fighting with me. I love you all so much. All right, I'm done. Thank you. Thank you.
Even in her final statement to the court, notice what Mackenzie still couldn't do. She still claimed she couldn't remember. She still maintained it wasn't intentional. She still focused as much on thanking her own family as on apologizing to her victims' families. Body language expert Patty Wood, who analyzed Mackenzie's courtroom behavior, noted something particularly disturbing. About a minute into sentencing, as the judge described Cheryl's horrific acts, the young woman defiantly shook her head back and forth. According to Wood, to have a defendant at that point shaking their head no is unusual, and it makes you realize she still doesn't quite get it. Compare this sentencing statement to what she had told hospital staff just hours after the crash. It was her fault for killing her boyfriend. The contrast was stark. Hours after the crash, she admitted fault. A year later, in front of the judge who would decide her fate, she claimed it was all an accident she couldn't remember. But perhaps the most revealing moment of the sentencing came when Mackenzie's mother, 𝙀𝘍𝙐𝙀𝙀 addressed the court. Her statement would give insight into the family dynamics that may have contributed to Mackenzie's sense of entitlement and avoidance of responsibility. When asked to state her name, 𝙀𝘍𝙍𝙀 began.
My name is 𝙀𝘍𝙍𝙀𝙀. I just want to say, am I allowed to address them at all? Sure. I just want to say to the families that I'm broken, sad, and lost, and my heart hurts for everyone, okay? Davion was her new friend, and Dom was the love of her life, and he was part of our family, okay? I'm just so sorry that this happened, and we're heartbroken, okay? And then, Your Honor, this was a terrible, tragic nightmare accident to have happened that she has no memory of, and she will never emotionally or physically recover from it. She almost died too.
Even after hearing days of evidence about the practice runs, the threats, the black box data showing deliberate acceleration, and the surveillance footage, Mackenzie's mother still called it an accident. Legal observers noted that this statement provided insight into how Mackenzie may have learned to avoid accountability. Even when faced with overwhelming evidence of premeditated murder, her family continued to frame it as an accident. The mother's statement also revealed the family's plan to continue fighting the conviction.
And we're asking that you please not run the sentences consecutive. He was family and we all loved each other.
To understand the full scope of Mackenzie's deception, we need to look at how her story changed over time and how her own words ultimately convicted her. Hours after the crash, when she thought she was speaking privately to medical staff, Mackenzie said it was her fault for killing her boyfriend. But by the time of her trial, her story had completely changed. She now claimed total memory loss and maintained it was all an accident.
Is it just kids being kids? Is it Dominic grabbing the steering wheel? Is it Mackenzie maybe speeding and saying, oh my God, dark out, it's late, I'm coming up to this, I better do something, and she goes like that to avoid an accident, not acting purposely, but in fact trying to avoid it? Is it sudden acceleration, panic? Those are all possibilities. We are really never going to know what happened in that car, much less prove by evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that she purposely drove that car. Purposely. It has to be established that at the time in question, there was present in the mind of Mackenzie a specific intent to cause the death of her boyfriend Dominic Russo and her friend Davion.
At sentencing, she told the court, "I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened." Meanwhile, her social media posts from before the crash told yet another story. Posts like "I'm the one you die for" suggested someone who was comfortable with themes of death and control, and the evidence from 2 weeks before the crash showed her making specific threats. "I will crash this car right now." Put it all together, and you have a clear pattern. Mackenzie made threats, practiced the route, carried out the murder, initially admitted fault, then spent a year crafting a new story for trial.
Having had count 2 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant Mackenzie 𝙀𝘍𝙍𝙀𝙀 guilty of murder, to wit Davion Flanagan, in violation of Ohio Revised Code section 2903.02a is charged in count 2 of the indictment. Count 3, murder. The court, having had count 3 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie 𝙀𝙬𝙏𝙀𝙍, guilty of murder, to wit, 𝙀𝙀𝙏𝙀𝙀𝙀 in violation of 𝙀𝙬𝙇𝙔 Code Section 2903.02b as charged in count 3.
Her own words, captured at different times when she thought no one was paying attention to their legal significance, became the evidence that proved her guilt beyond any reasonable doubt.